What's up, everyone? My name is Matt, and I'm in the process of making a series of indie horror games under the name of Shattered Lens Studio. This video is happening because of my frustration with trying to get a simple door in my game. I wanted a clean shoji door, but everything that I found was either paywalled or not what I was looking for. So I thought, you know what? I'm creative enough, and I can learn quickly, so why not make it myself? Well, it all started with Blender, and that was a bit overwhelming for somebody who's never really done any 3D modeling before. So I was like, why can't I do this in Unreal at this point? So I decided to give it a shot. And you know what? It wasn't just easy, it was simple and fast. Let me show you how I did it. So I made this shoji door in Unreal Engine, and I did it as a blueprint. So I have all of my different pieces here, and I just shaped them, resized them, and then set them up with textures that I liked in order to make it look good, right? So let's go ahead. Look at that. That looks fine. So then I wanted to try and put this on a movable object, and I'm like, well, how can I do that with a box collision connecting to this, but then everything doesn't shift properly, or it's a little bit more complex than it needs to be, or it just doesn't shift at all? And I'm like, well, I already have a door, right? I have this, which if we take a look over here and just hit play, we can just click it and it slides open. Perfect. Why can't I do the same with this? Well, we can. What we do is we take the blueprint door that's on the field now. So we drag the blueprint itself. So I have the blueprint doors down here and I have my BP shoji door. So I just bring it down onto the field like this. And then with it selected, all I do is I go to Tools and go to Merge Actors. And what that does is it populates the screen like this. And then we just click Merge Actors. Everything's selected. And then we get the static mesh version of the shoji door. And it has the materials that I use here. So if I want to swap all of the wood for a different wood, I can just do that right here, and same with the paper. And then what's great is that now this is one solid piece, right? So don't have to worry about it coming apart at all, and it's simplified. But now I want all of these doors to look like the shoji door, right? Let's go ahead and do that. So we go into the original door blueprint. This is the one that functions. And I just change the static mesh to my shoji door, and then I just resize it to a 1 so that it's the exact same size as my shoji door. Compile and save. And now they're here. And you click it, and it moves. Beautiful. Now, because obviously these are resized, I have to go ahead and move these together a little bit closer. And obviously, since they're a little bit smaller, the boxes are a little bit too big for these. So I go back into the blueprint door, and I just take my trigger box, and I just shrink it down. Go ahead and bring it down to size. About there, and then in to about here. Wow, and save that. And now the boxes out in the world are like this. So these doors you can open from both sides. And then I've got some over here that are this guy here. No, I delete them all. I've got some that are locked. So you'll have to find another way in. But now, bam, just like that. And you can look at them and interact with them, or you can just look at the space and bring them in. As easy as that. And because nobody talks about this, this is why I wanted to make this video. So here's where to do my shameless plugin. If you want to help me start building a community around the horror games that I'm making, as well as some other projects that I'm involved in, feel free to join my Discord server linked below. And if you have some advice or anything to say, don't be shy and leave a comment. And maybe think about hitting subscribe if you want to keep up with me as I'm working on these projects. Either way, thanks for watching.